Jayztwocents hot seat. So it's been a long time since I've done one of these Q&A videos, and normally I'll go in and pre-select the questions, and I decided today I'm gonna let Phil pre-select the questions. I have no idea what's coming my way. So, yeah.
Sure, you can DIY anything, but why do this when you can have this? Available in both 120 and 140 millimeter sizes, the new Prisma fans from Fractal Design feature 6 individually addressable hub-mounted RGB LEDs that are compatible with most motherboard addressable RGB headers. To learn more, click the link in the description below.
Kranz's J asks, pineapple on pizza, question mark.
Duh. No, seriously, I like myself a good Hawaiian pizza. I like Hawaiian barbecue pizza. I also like people making up their own mind for what they like and not giving a shit what other people think.
Nirmit Patel 0034 asks, describe your YouTube journey in one word.
Abrasive. That's the first word that came to mind, I'm sorry.
Who or what were your influence to do YouTube videos, and when did you actually start talking to a camera?
I wanted to make movies as a kid, and I've said this a million times. I wanted to be a director of photography. I didn't want to be a director of photography. I wanted to work with the cameraman, the camera ops. I wanted to work with all that. So I would take black paper mache or construction paper and poke different size holes in it and tape it up to my window to make space. And then I had models that I built, like Millennium Falcon and X-Wings and stuff, and I had them on strings, and I made battle scenes, and I even had green pipe cleaners that we'd throw to make the lasers and all that sort of stuff. So my friends and I, we would make these stupid little videos, which I wish I still had, but I don't, unfortunately. So talking in front of the camera never scared me. In terms of influence to making videos, I never really had a tech influence. I didn't even know people made money or a living doing this on YouTube until I was in my 30s already. And it was just one of those things where I think my biggest influence in that this could work was Linus. And what I mean by that is, just like I said at the roast, which I meant 100%, is if a guy like him with a voice like him and a face like his can make a living doing this, so can I.
Do you consider yourself a car guy first or a PC guy first?
I consider myself an whatever floats my boat guy first. I share an equal passion for both, but I probably have a bigger passion for cars at the moment, only because it's not work. That's why the car channel died a slow, agonizing death. I let it on purpose because it was becoming work. It was becoming like, I gotta upload something to this channel. And I didn't like that feeling, so I just said, screw it. So Jayztwocents is not about computers. Jayztwocents was about whatever I wanted it to be about. And if you go and you watch the early videos on this channel, the first 6 months was really eclectic. I ranted about Apple, I ranted about Google, I ranted about Xbox. I'm more than a one-trick pony. I don't only care about computers, I care about all things technology. And so the genre, or the audience, really tried to keep me in this genre box, which I refused to stay in. But yeah, I would consider myself equal on both, but I currently enjoy cars more. Only because I get to spend a lot less time with it.
There's that overused phrase that's just oh, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And it's it still is work.
Bullshit.
It's still work.
I love what I do, but man, it's still work.
I think that's an important distinction, is that it's still work, but you like working as opposed to hating working, because that sucks. What type of genre of movies do you prefer when you're relaxing away from computer and cars?
This might surprise a lot of people, but I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't really watch any sort of mainstream TV. I spend a lot of my time watching documentaries online about World War I, World War II, Vietnam, a lot of DIY type stuff. I really like watching how-to videos, how to build stuff. I mean, I had to learn how to do this on my own as I went. I enjoy that sort of stuff. I don't feel like TV rots your brain like some people do. It's just my brain and TV are not on the same wavelength, I guess. And so I just sort of don't watch anything. Obviously I've enjoyed the MCU. I watched all of Game of Thrones. I watched all of Sons of Anarchy, all of Breaking Bad. These real heavily stitched pop culture things. Sometimes I get sucked into them, but fortunately those are usually one at a time and years apart. I've also been watching a lot of Goon Squad, and I have an urge now to buy a wrecked supercar. I don't wanna, but I wanna.
What was your most frustrating build you've done?
Post Malone. I think everyone knows that answer. That was the only build that I had so many different people involved in it, and everyone kind of, like, the next piece couldn't happen until the previous piece was done. It all started with the custom case that I love Singularity Computers, but they quoted me 4 to 6 weeks. It took them 3 months. Actually took more than 3 months, but that's besides the point. By the time the system was pretty much done and we could show it to him, he was on a world tour and he was gone for months. So many things lined up to where the build itself probably only took a week and a half of actual build time, but it took so much more than that between all the pieces to line up to where we could present it to him. And then I guess it's also just frustrating because I didn't feel like a real appreciation towards that build. Like, Terry Crews was so beside himself to receive the PC we built for him. It felt like so many strings were pulled and so many people came together to build something like that you cannot recreate. You cannot build this anywhere else because of the custom work that was done for the grill and the guitar head and all that sort of stuff. I felt like it was just kind of like oh yeah, man, that's cool, bro. And so that's what also made it frustrating, was I took a huge beating on the timeline, and then I feel like an appreciation beating when the project was over.
What made you want to become a tech guy, or how did you become a tech guy?
I never wanted to become a tech guy. Like, why does the mechanic become a mechanic, or the pilot become the pilot? I don't think it's because they went, that guy looks like he's having fun. I'm gonna go do that. I think it's just the way your brain's wired, and you just wake up one day and you go, that's just the things I like. People can't explain their tastes. They just know that that's the way they are, and that's what kind of makes everyone unique, which is kind of neat. I've been sitting on computers as far back as I can remember. I've got pictures of my dad holding me when I was a baby while he's on the computer. So it's just always been that way. In terms of cars, though, no one in my family pretty much had that sort of passion, just me.
Do you digress?
Daily. I just hate when I digress when I go to the bathroom.
You go into pee and you just shit your pants.
Oh no! Oh man, not again. So the reason why I digress, and this is the short condensed version, I've said this before a million times. I worked for a company that we did software development. Every single day we had what's called a scrum meeting. We had this one gentleman that was in a power struggle with a part owner of the company, a new guy that came in, and then this particular gentleman, and I'll leave his name out. Unfortunately, he's passed away, so it's kind of an homage to him. He would filibust every scrum. And at the end of his little filibuster, he would go, "But I digress. Paul, you may have the floor." And so it just became like a thing where every time I heard it every day, to where it just got stuck in my head. And now every time I say it, it's kind of like a little like to him. I think I just had a stroke. It's like, how do you dab? Is it like this?
What's the point of extreme overclocking when you're not even going to use it as your workstation or gaming machine?
What's the point of making a comment when no one really cares what you think? No, it goes back to the thing we talked about earlier with the passion of doing something. Why do people race cars? Why do people race airplanes, boats? It's just a desire of taking something beyond its limits and seeing how far you can go with it before there's any sort of a failure, and then you start naturally racing at it. I mean, overclocking when it comes to like the LN2 and the XOC guys, it's CPU drag racing. It's what it is, and it's no different than any other sport. There's no point. Why take this stupid orange ball against those 5 guys and try and put it in that hole? You could say anything's a waste of time if you don't agree with it. But that kind of circles back to my thing I said earlier too, is the pineapple on pizza thing. How about you just let people enjoy what they enjoy, and if you don't like it, you just kind of keep your mouth shut about it.
Is RIP GN over? I'd like to see more LN2 videos.
Time and work and life got in the way. We've had parts to compete with that for a long time, and kudos to Steve who took that series and then just ran with it. I mean, he did a really good job of just bringing in the XOC community, getting in with Kingpin, getting in with Bearded. I forgot his real name. Oh man, I feel bad. But anyway, it's like he did a really good job of bringing in a lot of awareness to a group that I feel like they don't get nearly as much exposure or awareness as they deserve. We are going to be doing more with Steve next month. I don't want to give away any details. We will be working actually, I believe, together on something against someone without giving out too much more information, but it should be interesting, it should be exciting, and it will be live streamed, so stay tuned for that.
What is the next car that you want?
Practical wise, I don't know that I have a next car that I want. I've got my Ram Rebel, and I have my 370Z, which is my track car, blast to drive. And then I have my stupid midlife crisis ZL1 1LE that I ripped the engine apart at 5,000 miles and increased the output by almost 200 horsepower. It's kind of hard to say what I would want next. I think a Demon or a Red Eye would be fun. My Camaro doesn't have that same presence even as a Red Eye, even though it's just as fast, if not faster, in a straight line than a Red Eye, and it could still pull well over 1.5 Gs in a turn. It's just something about the presence of a Red Eye that I think would be fun. In terms of impractical car, I think a Ferrari 812 would be kind of fun. I'm not an exotic sports car kind of guy. I'll never own a Lamborghini. I'll never own a Ferrari 812 either, but I think that's a car that would be fun because, again, rear-wheel drive, front engine, which if you can't tell is kind of a theme of mine. So it's just something about having all that horsepower sent to the rear wheels and trying to keep it all in check is what I think is fun.
If you were to replace your Camaro, what car would it be and why?
Hell, why not? A Tesla Roadster.
The new one?
The new one. If you like torque, you get plenty of it.
If you like your internal organs rearranged whenever you launch, yeah.
Right? I mean, and the fact that it makes no noise when it's doing it. Hell, that's crazy. But I mean, if we're just going by pure performance, I mean, you can't deny the car, right? You just can't.
What's the weirdest thing you've done with computer hardware?
I heard you guys like dark things.
Oh! Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
I don't think anything we've done yet really compares to some things I want to do.
If you had $1 for every time someone asked you for free PC parts, would you be able to retire today?
I mean, realistically, no. But it is a little annoying that we get those messages daily on every single place you get.
All right, a little bit more serious from Coalition Gaming. How do you deal with situations of slow channel growth and producing high effort content that gets lackluster viewing performance results?
So I've learned over the years, like I said, I've been doing this now 7 years, or going on almost 7 years. There are multiple times a year where the slowdowns are consistent. Usually is right around the start of summer. Christmas time is another slowdown right before Christmas, usually before Thanksgiving. So what I've learned is that when I know the slow times are coming, like we're in one right now, we're down like 20 or 30% on subscriber growth versus the last period. But I mean, what gets me through it, like I already said, is just the fact that I have seen year on year on year, the slow time is always followed by a rise right after that.
What is the worst regret you have in life?
So my biggest regret is that I've never graduated anything. I graduated late from high school, which is going to surprise a lot of people because I got senioritis my sophomore year. So I got very far behind by the time senior year rolled around. So I graduated in summer school, which means I never got to wear a cap and gown, never got to walk and hear my name called, have people cheer or whatever. So my graduation for high school consisted of, congratulations, you passed summer school, go to the window on your way out and get your diploma. And that was it. And then I'm a college dropout. So I've never like officially graduated something with any sort of ceremony or anything like that. So I think that's probably my biggest regret. It's just at the time, I told people, like, my parents were like, you're gonna regret it, you're gonna regret it, you wanna graduate on time? I was like, whatever, I don't care. And I didn't care for years. But I think now, as I'm older and I've got kids and I see their excitement when they have their little promotion ceremonies and stuff moving to the next grade, I kind of look at that and I go, they didn't do that promotion crap when I was a kid. And then I see their excitement for that and I think, well, it would have been nice maybe to wear a cap and gown at least once. So that's probably my biggest regret.
What old video game would you like to see remade using newer technologies like Quake 2 or TX?
How about Duke Nukem? That way you can just see, you have the old game, but with the new lighting and the, oh yeah.
Especially because
we're gonna kick ass.
In today's political climate, you can't make that game anymore anyway.
It's one of the reasons why I want to see it even more.
Yeah.
Piss off the easily pissed off, let's do it.
I was thinking Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, but that might just be...
Oh, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Oh yeah, dude, yes. What has been your favorite part of building the new sets?
Doing it myself, honestly. It's going a lot slower. This would have been done already if I had contractors come in. But the amount of money that I've saved on just having contractors build the framework have allowed me to buy the furniture and the tools and the toolboxes and stuff we need for the new shop. I'm really looking forward to building the new computer build space, and that's going to be a fun series. Like, I mean, I'm sure most people would dream of having a space dedicated to just building computers, and you're not even doing it as like a business to sell the computers to people, because that's about volume. Get it in, get it out. The more computers you move, the more money you make. This is just about sharing that build passion, and I can't wait to start the build set, which should hopefully start next week.
All right, last question is 2 Jayz or RB26?
Oh, 2 Jayz, of course. RB26 is legendary, but so is the 2 Jayz. And if you truly want to go with power and reliability, the 2 Jayz or the RB26 any day. And I say that as someone who knows people who own both that are modified.
Oh, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate or vanilla? Swirl.
No, because when you're talking like this.